What is up, everybody? It's your boy Slumpenstein, and I'm joined by Miss Slumpenstein today. We're talking about Anime Midwest 2017. It's held every July in Rosemont, Illinois. And we took a trip down there. We were given some press passes and we went to go check it out. We're basically just going to talk about everything that we saw there, everything that we liked, everything that we didn't necessarily like, and things that we think that they could do to improve on in the future. But basically the convention was broke down into, the convention center and the hotel, which had us both, had us confused at first, because usually the conventions that we go to, like NakaCon and Tennessee Comic Con and so on and so forth, it's just in one location. It's not. It's split between two, but the hotel and the convention center are actually about a mile away.
Yeah.
So, it was. So the first day, I think we really didn't figure it out until that night when we went to the rave party.
Literally. And
because the rave party was at the hotel, so that whole first day of the convention, we didn't step foot in the hotel. We were just at the convention center. The convention center had a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, which wasn't actually part of the anime convention, and the vendor room, and some of the panel rooms. And that's basically it. So it didn't have the video game room, it didn't have the tabletop room, arcade, and all that kind of stuff was in the hotel, so we didn't know about any of that. Granted, we didn't really sleep much that first day either, because we left like at what?
It was literally like midnight.
Yeah, it was pretty late, so I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 hours of sleep here or there. But I guess I'll start off with what I really liked about this convention. It's big, so it's a lot. The venue, the location is big. So as that convention grows, because to my knowledge it's fairly new, so as it grows, I feel like they're gonna fill in that space really nicely, and that they can do a lot of good things in the future.
Yeah, it's only gonna get better. Honestly.
Yeah. With these conventions that just start up, kind of like Tennessee Comic Con, there's nothing bad that they can do. They're gonna keep getting better and building off. But that was the main thing that I noticed. There was so much space, and the way that they managed it was really good.
Yeah, I like the vendor room. Like, it had so much more different stuff than at NakaCon. Like, I know at NakaCon though, I can get my fill of sweets because y'all know I love food. But they didn't have as much of that, but they did have a lot of everything else, which was pretty awesome. Like,
yeah.
They had a wide range of stuff. Like, that vendor room was filled wall to wall. It was spacious, but it was like all the people weren't all on top of each other.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of sword stands, what I noticed. That a lot of people were selling swords, from authentic swords to video game swords to anime swords, movie, it was a lot, and it was really cool. They were actually decently priced.
Yeah, they were.
I have actually 2 things that kind of bothered me at the convention. One of them is something that's not really new, is that most of the people that were there were video game resellers. So that means that they were selling stuff for above market price, which is above eBay, Amazon price. So let's take just a random game like Mario 64. Last time I checked, the game was selling for about $20 card only. They were selling it up there for 40 to 50 bucks. And it was kind of upsetting, kind of disappointing, because I was hoping to buy some stuff as far as video games go, but they didn't really have anything. But the other thing, and this is a big thing, is that there was not a lot of staff around.
That's an understatement. Well, no, in the hotel there's staff, but in the convention center there was no staff. That's why we were lost for so long. Because there was literally nothing but security in there. Yeah, and
if we were going up to the security, asking, well, where's the grand ballroom at? That's where most of the stuff takes place, and they were like,
I don't know.
Well, shit, I don't know.
Right.
And it just for a minute, it didn't seem very organized. You would think that the security working the event would know everything that they need to know about the event, but you know, it is what it is. You know, do you have anything about anything you think they can improve on?
No, I really, my only issue was just the staffing problem. But one thing I can say is that registration went so smooth.
Yeah, that's
I swear I've never been through a registration like that in my life.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing that works for them, I don't know, I'm assuming that a lot of big conventions do this, bigger conventions, is that they mail out their passes ahead of time. Conventions like KC Comic-Con, Planet Comic-Con, NakaCon, which are the ones that are local to us, don't do that. They don't mail out the passes ahead of time. So we got there, got in the line, and got our passes in 2 minutes. You know,
Yeah, that was nice.
And that was really, really nice because I was expecting
Wait, wow, like 30 minutes, an hour?
Yeah, but it was really smooth. Actually, everything in there was really smooth. Everything clicked, you know. Now, I do want to talk about the individual rooms for a minute. The tabletop room was pretty nice. I've never seen it like that. They basically had the tabletop gaming room, like where you can go and play Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, whatever tabletop game that suits you, and kind of like vendors that sell those products in there. And it was like, you know, all in one room, and it wasn't too packed. You know, it was actually kind of cool how that worked out. But what's another room?
The gaming room.
The gaming room was actually
separate.
Yeah, and that was kind of merged also. It was arcade on one side and video games on the other. So and it was kind of cool because half of the room was lit, which was the video game side, and the other half of the room was dark for the arcade gaming. And they had some pretty cool cabinets in there. So that was pretty cool. They had a lot of different video game systems in there. They held tournaments from ARMS to Mario Kart to Naruto, and I want to say, what's it called? It just came out. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna think of it.
Some cool stuff.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. And I don't know, is there another room that we're forgetting? They did have free ramen. That was pretty cool. That's another thing that I was thinking about is like they had the free ramen, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go up here and try to get this damn ramen, and there's gonna be either gone or 200 people in the line. And we actually went in there and got our ramen in 5 minutes.
We got ramen, because y'all know I like food. We got ramen, we got rice, you can put whatever topping you want. They brought out the salad. It was like, all this for me? It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was cool, you know, but that was pretty nice. And then that whole top level was kind of food, I guess, and hangout. I don't know really what else was up there.
Yeah, had cafes and stuff.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Didn't really get to go to a lot of the panels. Every time we tried to go to one, we just weren't getting there early enough, and there was always people sitting outside and filling it up. So, you know, that's a bummer. You know, it's just a learning experience for, you know, if we go, you know, next year, we would appreciate it if you guys reached out to us and, you know, welcomed us back. But, you know, I wouldn't mind going back.
No, I think it was awesome. I think now that we know where things are, and now that we know that we need to get sleep before we leave, like, I think we'll do a lot better next year.
Yeah, but
so I'm gonna be there.
I really do recommend it. If you are into anime conventions, I do recommend it. It was really fun, and you know, it could have been better. That's why you know, it was fun that we didn't even get to do everything because, like I said, we were confused for almost half the time. But it still turned out to be a really, really good time. It really did. And if I had to like rate it, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna rate it. I'd recommend it to you.
Yeah, we can't rate it just because we missed so much stuff just because of our own confusion.
Yeah. So like I said, I'd recommend that you go. There was a lot of people there. You know, I didn't see any problems, any like altercations with people or, you know, anything like that. So it was a really fun time, you know. So if you want to see if you didn't get to make it this year, I'm gonna put links to the 2 coverage videos for Friday and then Saturday and Sunday in the description box below. You know, check that out. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna be going to a lot more conventions, covering. We want to start doing some vlogs whenever we go out to do all these things. You know, we want to put out a lot more content for you guys to enjoy. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys later.
Hey, we forgot about the rave. How do you forget about the rave that went all the way through the whole night?
Let's talk about the rave a little bit. Yeah, she has interrupted my outro.
It was the rave.
The raves. Okay, it was a big part of it. Okay, so Friday, the rave started at 11 and went until 4. The first rave,
It was still lit, even though people were coming.
It was cool, the music and everything, but there wasn't enough people there. And me personally, I feed off of other people's energy. You know, I can hear music and I'll start bobbing my head, but it's not gonna get me going. I feed off other people's energy. At NakaCon, the energy at the raves are always sky high. Now, Saturday, the rave lasted, I think it was from 11:30 to 6. Like I said, we were, YT Cracker was there and performed and all that. But we were so sleep deprived that Friday that
we had to leave early.
You know, we're getting old.
Hey,
we had to bounce and get some sleep. But I could tell that it was a difference from that Friday to that Saturday.
Yeah.
It was already almost filled up inside, and there was still 250 people lined up along the wall like a snake when we left out. So that was pretty cool. So now we're talking about the rave.
Okay.
Now back to my outro. You want to see the coverage videos, go check them out there in the description box below. And we will catch you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.